to our show, true stories of miracles that change people's lives forever. Wouldn't it be nice if you always knew there would be someone around to catch you when you fell? Well, 4-year-old Joey Vogel of Rathdrum, Idaho feels that way. He survived something truly terrifying, but he did it with the help of a very miraculous friend.
I'm jumping on the bed.
With 2 rambunctious little boys at home, Sean and Stacy Vogel have their hands full. But the parents of 4-year-old Joey and 6-year-old Tommy wouldn't have it any other way.
Tommy and Joey play really, really well together.
Joey's the stand.
They are truly each other's best friends.
Their closeness extended to their shared bedroom, where both had been repeatedly warned to stay away from a window that was in need of a new safety latch.
Because I'd always told him, if you guys ever go by the window, you could fall and you could die, you know, so don't play by the window.
It was kind of, let's put the fear into him now until we can get this situation taken care of.
One day, when it was too cold to play outside, Joey was especially unruly. Sean sent him to his room.
He was getting into things and knocking things over, and he was just being kind of a monster that day.
When Tommy was allowed to join his brother, they became double trouble, daring to play by the forbidden window.
Oh, when Joey found the light to open the window, he pushed on the screen.
It gave way, and Tommy watched his brother fall 20 feet to the hard concrete patio.
When I saw him fall out the window, I was scared.
Sean and Stacy rushed to the bedroom to find an open window and no Joey.
And it was terrifying.
There's your baby laying on the concrete from 2 stories high. I was scared. I was scared to death.
We were just praying, just hoping once we got there that something could be done.
When he finally reached his son, Sean's protective instincts took over.
I think your first parental instinct is, you see your child hurt, you got to pick him up anyway. And I did fight that for like half a second, but I said, there's no way I'm going to leave my child out here in the cold. He looked so broken, at that very moment. I mean, that's what he looked like, was a broken person.
He told me, call 911. I said, never mind, because the roads are icy and it's going to take him 15, 20 minutes to get out to our house. And so we decided just to go ahead and go and take him to the hospital.
In the car, Joey was showing some disturbing signs.
The scariest part about the ride there was the fact that Joey didn't know who we were.
Sean tried to talk to him and keep him alert, and he would ask him, you know who I am? And Joey's like, no, and his eyes were all dilated, and you could see the fear in his eyes because he didn't recognize who we were.
Dr. Bruce, telephone, please.
The Vogels were met in the emergency room by Dr. Eric Chun, who expected the worst.
Any fall from that height can cause severe head injury, spinal injuries, paralysis, internal injuries, sometimes death.
Certain that Joey had sustained a head injury, Dr. Chun immediately ordered a CAT scan to determine the extent of the damage. What he found was shocking. No damage at all.
I was pleased that those were the results and somewhat surprised. So the news was good.
After the CT scan and all the x-rays and everything, he came back and slept for about 15 minutes and woke up, and it was Joey. Joey was back.
I wonder what you are.
First thing he did was grab my finger and started wrestling with me. He's like, hey, get over here,
Yes, Dad.
But after falling 20 feet onto cold, hard concrete, how could Joey be fine? The answer was nothing short of miraculous.
I said, Joe, you must be the luckiest kid on earth. I said, somebody must have caught you. And he goes, somebody did. I said, somebody did what? Somebody caught me. And I said, well, who caught you?
Then Joey told an astonishing story. He had been saved by a very special guardian angel, his grandfather Tommy.
Dad's dad, Tommy, caught me when I fell out the window.
At first we thought it was just something he was goofing around with. And I'm like, my dad taught me caught you. And he said, yeah, he reached out and he caught me. And I said, well, did he say anything to you? And he said, yeah, you're welcome.
Joey had never met nor even seen a picture of his grandfather.
My father had passed away, 12, 13 years before Joey was ever even born.
For Sean, his father catching Joey was also a miraculous message for him.
I think if it was anybody else, I would dismiss it, and I think if it was anybody else, it would have just been, oh, whatever, if it was just an angel or just anybody else, it wouldn't have mattered. But my faith came into question with the death of my father. And I think that's where this comes down to. It was almost like him coming back and saying, it's time to get that faith back. And that was where I see the miracle coming into play in more than one area. And it's kind of special.
Stacy and Sean are thankful that their boys will forever have another pair of eyes looking out for them.
I do believe that God intervened, that God is gracious and merciful, and that he must have huge plans for Joey.
The miracle is that Joey fell out, but he's okay.
My children are everything, and I can't even imagine putting into words how grateful I feel that he's alive.
It looks like Joey's grandfather will always be with him.